Airplanes may be incredible machines, but for seniors, flying can still feel stressful. The good news? A few hidden tricks can make every flight smoother, safer, and far more comfortable. Today, you'll learn the practical tips airlines never explain, ones that help you save energy, avoid mistakes, and actually enjoy the journey. Before we begin, hit subscribe if you love smart travel advice. Each week, we share simple senior travel tips to keep you calm, confident, and prepared in the air. Now, let me ask you a quick question. Drop a 1 in the comments if airports often feel stressful to you, or a 0 if you usually breeze through them. I want to see how many of you feel the same way. Firstly, let's talk about window seats. The view is wonderful, but they're also the coldest spot on the plane. At 35,000 feet, the temperature outside drops far below freezing and the chill seeps through the cabin walls. If you're lightly dressed, that cold creeps into your muscles and joints. The fix? Pack a sweater or shawl and ask for a blanket right when you sit down. That way, you stay warm for the entire trip instead of shivering through it. Secondly, skip the hot coffee or tea on flights. The water used for those drinks comes from onboard tanks that aren't always cleaned properly. Studies have found bacteria inside, and even flight attendants admit they avoid it. Seniors should stick to bottled water or juice. It's safer, it hydrates better, and it helps you land feeling fresher. Thirdly, know where the real germs are hiding. Many assume it's the bathroom, but the dirtiest places are tray tables and seat back pockets. Passengers stuff trash and use tissues into those pockets, and tray tables are often used for things you don't want to imagine. Always pack disinfectant wipes, clean your area when you sit down, and never put food directly on the tray. Keep your books, glasses, and medication in your bag instead of the pocket. Fourthly, if you can choose your flight time, go early. Morning flights are less likely to be delayed and usually experience smoother air. Seniors who get nervous about turbulence or hate running late will feel calmer with an early departure. Plus, arriving earlier gives you daylight to settle in at your destination. Fifthly, think about where you sit for service. Passengers in the back sometimes get better attention from the crew. Since staff move in and out of the rear galley, it's easier for them to quietly offer extra water, a snack, or even a blanket. Yes, you'll get off the plane later, but seniors who prefer comfort over rushing may find the trade-off worth it. Sixthly, let's talk about travel pillows. If you bring an inflatable one, don't fill it completely. Cabin pressure changes as you fly, and an overinflated pillow can become too hard or even burst. Leave a little space so it stays soft and supports your neck without strain. Finally, meals. You don't have to settle for the standard chicken or pasta. When you check in online, request a special meal, vegetarian, low sodium, or diabetic friendly. These are often healthier, fresher, and served first. For seniors watching blood pressure or sugar, this is an easy upgrade that makes a big difference. So, in this first part, you've already learned how to keep warm, stay hydrated, protect your health, pick better flights, and even get fresher meals. Each of these tips is simple, but together, they'll completely change how you fly. Now that you know how to get comfortable and set yourself up for a smoother flight, let's move on to the next set of secrets. These tips will help you stay in control of your journey, cut down on stress, and make sure your luggage and tech don't become problems along the way. Firstly, always bring a pen on international flights. It sounds simple, but you'll thank yourself later. Many countries still require customs or entry forms, and when the flight attendants hand them out, everyone scrambles. Seniors especially don't want to dig through bags in the dark or borrow from strangers. Keep a pen tucked into your passport wallet and you'll be ahead of the crowd. Secondly, if turbulence makes you nervous, seat choice is the solution. The calmest spot is over the wing, right at the plane's center of gravity. The front bounces up and down, the back feels every bump, but the wings stay more stable. Seniors who tense up during turbulence can pair a wing seat with steady breathing or a relaxing playlist to make the bumps feel far less dramatic. Thirdly, give yourself an edge before you even leave home by downloading your Airlines app. These apps are like travel control centers. They send real-time updates on delays, gate changes, and boarding times, and some even let you rebook instantly if your flight is canceled. For seniors, this means less straining to hear announcements and no waiting in long customer service lines. With a charged phone and the app ready, you're always one step ahead. Fourthly, let's talk hydration. Airplane cabins are extremely dry, and seniors often feel the effects more: dry throat, stiff joints, even dizziness. Instead of buying expensive water after security, bring an empty bottle and fill it at a gate fountain. Take small sips often instead of large gulps, and you'll feel fresher when you land. For seniors managing medication, staying hydrated also keeps your system balanced. Fifthly, never rely only on airport charging stations. Many are broken, crowded, or even unsafe. Hackers have been known to install malware in public USB ports. Seniors who depend on phones for boarding passes and hotel directions can't afford a dead battery or a hacked device. Pack a small power bank and your own cable. If you must use public charging, add a USB data blocker. Tiny and inexpensive, but it protects your phone. Sixthly, when booking flights, search in incognito or private mode. Airlines track your searches and may quietly raise prices if they think you're coming back. Clearing cookies helps too. For seniors planning trips around family or medical schedules, setting fare alerts also pays off. You'll catch the dips when airlines quietly release better deals. Seventhly, pick your seat with research, not luck. Use a site like Seat Guru to see which seats recline, which have extra leg room, and which are stuck by bathrooms or noisy galleys. 2 minutes of checking can save you hours of discomfort. Seniors with knee or back issues will especially notice the difference. Eighthly, let's tackle checked luggage. Once your bag disappears behind the counter, it's handled by machines, not people. Old stickers can confuse scanners, belts can jam, and tight connections mean bags get left behind. Seniors who rely on medications or CPAP machines can't risk it. The fix is easy. Take a photo of your bag at check-in and slip a small GPS tracker inside. If your luggage goes missing, you'll know exactly where it is, sometimes before the airline does. Quick engagement check. Drop a 1 in the comments if you've ever had a bag delayed or lost, or a 0 if you've always been lucky. Seeing the numbers will show just how common this is. Finally, remember that airports are designed to make you spend. Lower ceilings, softer lighting, and long, golden walkways past perfume and candy shops aren't accidents. They're psychology. Seniors traveling on a budget can enjoy the calm without falling for the traps by setting a small spending budget in advance. The best memory isn't overpriced chocolate, it's the energy you save for your trip. So, with just a little preparation, pens, apps, hydration, power banks, and luggage tracking, you can protect yourself from most of the problems travelers face. These aren't complicated, but they keep you firmly in control of your journey. Flying isn't just about getting from one place to another. For seniors, the way you manage your health, rest, and spending can determine whether the journey feels like an adventure or a struggle. This next group of tips will help you stay comfortable, avoid common traps, and use your time wisely. Firstly, create a quick boarding routine. Once you're seated, buckle your seatbelt over your sweater or blanket so crew can see it during turbulence. If you plan to nap, lower your tray table before dozing off. That way, flight attendants can leave a meal or bottle of water without waking you. Seniors who finally relax mid-flight will appreciate waking rested instead of being nudged awake. Secondly, pack a seat kit. Use a small pouch for tissues, lip balm, disinfectant wipes, a pen, a charging cable, and any medication you may need in the next 4 hours. Seniors who keep this under the seat ahead don't have to twist or stretch for the overhead bin. It keeps you organized and avoids unnecessary strain. Thirdly, protect your circulation. Long periods of sitting can cause stiffness or swelling. Every hour, roll your ankles, stretch your calves, or take a short walk down the aisle. Compression socks add extra support. Seniors who combine movement, socks, and hydration land with more energy and less swelling. Fourthly, manage light and noise. Engines hum for hours, and cabin lights flick on at odd times. Bring earplugs or noise-reducing headphones and a proper eye mask. Seniors who guard their senses report less fatigue and more patience for customs lines when they land. Fifthly, be smart with meals. Standard airplane food is often heavy on salt, which can worsen swelling and blood pressure. When booking, request low-sodium or diabetic-friendly options. They're often fresher and served earlier. Pair them with your own healthy snack, like unsalted nuts or a granola bar, and you'll feel steadier. Seniors who time meals with their destination schedule also adjust to new time zones faster. Sixthly, keep your essentials together. Pack passport, boarding pass, medications, and a short list of emergency contacts should be stored in one easy-to-reach pocket. If your phone dies or a bag gets misplaced, you still have what matters. Seniors traveling as a couple should carry duplicates in separate bags. Seventhly, don't fall into the airport shopping trap. Once you're past security, prices skyrocket. A sandwich or bottle of water can cost 3 times what it does outside. Bring your own snack kit and reusable water bottle, and set aside a small budget if you want a treat. Seniors traveling on fixed incomes avoid unnecessary stress by planning for this instead of getting caught off guard. Eighthly, when you land, skip the first restroom near baggage claim. It's always the busiest and least clean. Walk a few extra minutes into the terminal. You'll usually find quieter, cleaner facilities. Seniors using canes or mobility aids will find it far easier to move around in those spaces. Ninthly, use layovers to your advantage. Many airports now have quiet rooms, day lounges, or even free showers. Some international hubs offer free city tours if your layover is long enough. Instead of sitting in a hard chair, seniors can stretch, freshen up, or even see a new place without spending extra money. Here's a quick engagement check. Type 1 if you've ever used a lounge or quiet area during a layover, or 0 if you've never tried it. You might give someone else the idea to make their next connection much easier. Finally, keep your tech safe. Airport Wi-Fi is rarely secure. Avoid logging into banking apps or sharing sensitive information. Use your own charger in a wall outlet instead of public USB ports, which can be tampered with. Seniors who carry a small pouch with a power bank and their own cables never have to worry about unsafe connections or dead devices. With these habits, seat kits, movement, light control, smarter food choices, and safe layovers, you'll arrive feeling calmer, healthier, and far less drained. Flying doesn't have to feel like a battle. With a little preparation, you can turn it into a far more pleasant experience. You've learned how to make the flight itself more comfortable, but the journey doesn't end when the plane lands. For seniors, the way you handle mobility, time zones, and arrivals can make all the difference between starting a trip strong or feeling drained before it even begins. Firstly, think about mobility before you ever step into the airport. If walking long distances or standing in long lines is difficult, request wheelchair or cart assistance when you book your ticket or during online check-in. There's no shame in it. In fact, it's smart planning that saves your energy for the parts of the trip you'll actually enjoy. Seniors who use assistance often arrive fresher and less stressed than those who try to tough it out. Secondly, prepare your body clock. Jet lag is tough on everyone, but especially on seniors. If you're traveling east, start going to bed a little earlier 2 or 3 days before your trip. If you're flying west, stay up later. Once you're on the plane, set your watch to destination time and behave accordingly. If it's night there, close your eyes and rest. If it's day, stay awake and move around. When you land, get natural sunlight as soon as possible. It helps reset your body faster than anything else. Thirdly, give yourself a buffer day when possible. If you're traveling for a wedding, a tour, or a cruise, aim to arrive at least a day early. That way, a delay won't ruin your plans and you'll have time to adjust. Seniors often find that this small change, arriving early, means starting the trip relaxed instead of rushed. Fourthly, upgrade the parts of travel that matter most. You don't need to splurge on first class to be comfortable. Sometimes paying a little extra for an exit row seat, an airport lounge pass, or a direct ride to your hotel is worth far more than the cost. Seniors know energy is precious, and spending it wisely often matters more than saving every dollar. Fifthly, keep your medications and medical devices with you, not in checked baggage. Pack them in original containers with labels and bring a written list of dosages and doctor's information. If you use a CPAP machine, check if your airline exempts it from carry-on limits. Seniors who keep a backup one-day supply in a separate pocket are protected even if a bag gets delayed. Sixthly, don't hesitate to speak up politely. If a seatmate is coughing and there's an open row, ask a flight attendant if you can move. If the overhead light above you won't turn off, request help early. Seniors who ask respectfully often find that staff are more than willing to make small adjustments that improve the whole flight. Seventhly, understand your boarding pass. Those random letters and numbers aren't random at all. They tell you your airline code, your flight route, your seat, and even your fare class. Learning what they mean gives you confidence and helps you spot mistakes before they cause problems. Seniors who take a minute to double-check their seat and gate assignments avoid confusion at the busiest moments. Finally, stitch everything together into one simple routine. The day before your flight, pack your seat kit, lay out comfortable clothes, charge your power bank, and place a tracker in any checked bag. At the airport, fill your water bottle, keep your ID and meds handy, and arrive early. On the plane, clean your space, buckle visibly, and set your watch to destination time. When you land, skip the first restroom, follow your luggage tracker, and take a few minutes outdoors before heading to your hotel. This system turns a stressful travel day into a smooth and predictable routine. Now let me ask you, drop a 1 in the comments if you picked up at least 2 new tips you'll use next time you fly, or a 0 if this was mostly a refresher. Either way, your response will help other seniors see what's most valuable. And before you go, make sure you hit subscribe. Every week we share senior-focused travel hacks, how to save money, protect your health, and travel with more confidence. Airlines won't tell you these things, but we will. So next time you fly, you'll have the advantage. Calmer, healthier, and better prepared than 90% of the passengers around you. Safe travels, and I'll see you in the next one.